Hello, hello.
Hello.
It is Cheryl and Jesse. We are back with another video.
This time we're going to share some tips on 5 things you should know before moving to Amsterdam.
5 things. So, how long have we been here now?
At this time, 6 months.
Yeah.
So hopefully this is helpful for you.
All right, let's get right into it. Number 1.
Do your research on the neighborhoods before you decide where to move into.
Okay. Elaborate.
So when we first moved,
Yeah.
we knew the common areas,
Yeah.
but we didn't really know the specific neighborhoods. So to name a couple,
True.
there is the Pipe, there's Jordan,
It's just the east side.
and there's also Oud West.
Yeah, Oud West. There's also central area, obviously.
There's also the Nord.
The Nord, but also if you want to save some money and live a little farther from the center and you don't mind transiting as opposed to biking to work if you work centrally, then you can even go farther than that. Like, it's extremely expensive to live in the inner rings as we do, and it's not really that affordable for a lot of people. So do your research before you get here, because when we got here, we were like extremely rushed to find our first apartment that we're gonna stay in. And when you're rushed, you're not really making like the best decision. And the area, luckily we moved into an area that's pretty great. Like,
Yeah, we live in the West, and within our area that we live in, it's very convenient. There's like 3 or 4 supermarkets nearby, the bus station and the tram station within like a few hundred meters.
yeah. But there are some places in Amsterdam we don't particularly prefer. So we're just lucky that we didn't move there. So just make sure that you do your research ahead of time, or either that or expect to spend a couple weeks to kind of get to know each neighborhood before you actually pick a place to land your first apartment in.
Moving on to number 2.
So bring enough cash when you first move to Amsterdam. Oh my gosh, Amsterdam is like an extremely expensive place. And even though we came from another extremely expensive place in Vancouver, Canada, we were converting from Canadian dollars to euros. So if you're converting from US to euros, it's probably a bit better and not as dramatic as we sound right now. But from Canadian to euros, it's like $1.60 almost. So it's extremely expensive, and there's so many different fees and charges you have to pay. You have to pay for your bank, you have to pay for your first apartment, you have to pay for your temporary apartment. For your first apartment, a lot of places charge you like 1 to 2 months of deposit.
Yeah, it's worth 2 months of your rent.
That's in addition to your first month of rent.
Exactly.
So in your first week of moving into your apartment,
It's
you're
3.
paying 3 months of rent. That's a lot of money, especially when you're converting from Canadian dollars.
And
so
depending on your situation, if you moved here for work and you start work almost immediately, keep in mind that in the Netherlands, you only get paid once a month, not bi-weekly like in North America.
And is it at the end?
And it's near almost the last week of the month. So
Yeah.
you could be waiting a while before you get your
You
first
could be
paycheck.
waiting, even if you start work on day 1, you're waiting like 4 weeks before you get your first paycheck possibly. And you're gonna rely on a lot of that cash that you transferred over. So make sure to bring or save up a lot of cash before you plan your move over here, and then bring all that cash over. One other tip that we have is, even though we did that and we brought over a lot of cash, we still didn't have enough for the first 3 months, because you get paid and then you pay off everything that you like owed for the first month, and then you have like maybe the first few weeks you're not buying groceries, so you're spending a lot of money eating out, so you're paying your credit card bills from your first month. Continuously for the first 3 months, we kept getting short on cash. And so we actually recommend a company called TransferWise. They're an online cash card kind of banking system where exchange rates are comparable to the Google exchange rate. So it's always like the most up-to-date and the cheapest fee that you can find. So we use TransferWise to kind of like transfer Canadian dollars. Almost, I think it takes a couple of days, and the fees are
Depending on
extremely
which
low.
option you take, it can also be almost instantaneous within the same day.
Yeah, sometimes it's instantaneously. It depends on where your money's coming
and
from.
you can transfer it back and forth. So between Canadian to euros, euros to Canadian dollars.
And it comes with a credit card that's free, so you can actually use that credit card to spend in any currency. If you're moving to London, you can spend it in pounds, you can spend it in euros, and it would immediately transfer your money with the best exchange rate. So highly recommend. We're not going to get too much into that in this video, so if you have questions about TransferWise, we can make that in another video.
Leave a comment. All right, number 3, health insurance is more expensive than you think. So based off of our research, I think on average, if you get the most basic health insurance, which includes access to GP and hospital visits, it's about 100 euros a month at the minimum.
Very minimum. Like most people are paying over 110 euros a month.
So if you're a household of at least 2 people, that's 220.
Per person.
That's possibly 220 euros per month.
That's a lot of money. Anyways.
And
so
maybe we're just a little bit spoiled because we're Canadians. In Canada, basic healthcare such as GP access, hospital is completely covered by the government. And even then, if you work a full-time job in Canada, most employers also cover your extended health benefits.
So back when we were in Canada, because we had great employers, we paid $0 for basic healthcare, hospital prescriptions, and dental, eye care, all of
massage, chiropractor,
all that stuff is all covered, and we paid $0. But here, just for basic, just to see your doctor, get prescription, you're paying a minimum of 110 euros per month just for basic healthcare, and then for anything extended, you can add to your plan.
The benefit for some employers that you will get is maybe a discount on your monthly insurance fee.
But never paid for.
No.
Even if you work for the biggest company, even they don't pay for health insurance for any of their employees. Maybe just a discount. So keep that in mind, because that's definitely gonna eat up into your monthly expenses when you move here to Amsterdam.
All right, number 4.
Make sure to check your technology if they're dual voltage before you move to Amsterdam. Now, this is like an obvious one. Like obviously you should know that it requires different voltages when you're traveling and stuff. But sometimes when you're moving, even for us, for people who like do a lot of research before we go anywhere, even for me, like I brought my hair curler here. I didn't even think about it, that it was like in like you can also obviously use your voltage converter,
the adapter,
but if your device itself doesn't have dual voltage, so it can't have the higher voltage and the lower voltage when it's Canada or North America versus Europe, then you can't use your technology here because it might blow up, even though you can plug it in because you have a converter. What do you even call that thing? The adapter. The adapter. So make sure to check your technology. All of your newest devices,
like your cell phones, your laptop, those
camera,
stuff
your iPad.
should be pretty safe. You're good to go. But things like your hair straightener, curler, blow dryer, if you're planning on bringing those things, make sure you check your voltage. Number 5.
Change your 2-step factor authentication.
What is that again?
So 2-step factor authentication is a lot of times when you're like signing up for your bank, your social media, any of your
email, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, for example.
Accounts online. A lot of times you give them your phone number so that they can, like, if you forget your password, they can text you back your password or like a code, and then you put the code into your browser, and then you can change your.
It's to protect your accounts.
But if you're moving to Amsterdam, you're getting a new phone number. So meaning that your 2-step factor is going to your old phone number.
So if you're moving within Europe to another European country, you're probably fine because you most likely could keep your phone number. But if you're coming from North America like Canada, we had to deactivate our old phone numbers. One thing we make sure we did was disable 2-step factor authentication.
For us, we did that for a few things, but we didn't do that for everything because we forgot about our banking. Maybe you have like, I don't know what it
Maybe
is.
you
Your
use
health
maybe
insurance
maybe
account.
there's a service that you use, like you log into once a year and you forgot about it.
It's incredibly hard to get back into your account if you set it up that way to begin with. We ended up having to do a lot of like long distance calls back to Canada because the only way to cancel the two-step factor is to call customer service to authenticate yourself. So remember to check them all, change them all, or cancel a two-step factor until you get here, and then change the two-step factor to your new phone number in the Netherlands. So that is the 5 different things you need to know before you move to Amsterdam. But we have one more bonus item. What is it, Jesse?
It rains a lot in Amsterdam.
Yeah.
And this is something that for us, we didn't think about it because moving from Vancouver, it rains a lot in Vancouver.
Like it's literally called Raincouver. If you're not from Vancouver, then you probably didn't.
Yeah, it's not much of a difference for us.
But if you came from somewhere from like California
yeah,
or something.
so here are some stats for you.
Yeah.
On average in Amsterdam in a year, there are 133 rain days.
Oh my gosh.
And then compare that to somewhere like Barcelona in Spain.
Yeah.
That's 55 days that they have on average of rain days.
Yeah.
LA only has an average of 35 days in a calendar year.
Okay, well, there you go. Some rain stats in Amsterdam for you. We hope you enjoyed this video. Those are your few things that you should know before you move to Amsterdam. If you are moving to Amsterdam soon, leave us a comment below and let us know what you're most worried about when you're moving to Amsterdam. Maybe we'll make another video or we'll comment back to you and kind of ease your worries a little bit.
Or if you're a veteran who has moved to Amsterdam from somewhere else and you've been living here for a while and there's something that we have missed, let us know also in the comments and maybe we can include that in a future video.
Totally. Yeah. So we hope you enjoyed the video. More videos are coming, so subscribe if you're interested.
Like our video, please.
Yeah, like our video if you're interested in content like this, because there's more coming your way this year. All right, bye.
See ya.